The year is 2010. You're scrolling through an obscure internet forum called Bitcoin Talk, and you stumble across the most insane post you've ever seen. Some guy named Laszlo is offering 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 large pizzas. Papa John's, extra pepperoni, no anchovies. You laugh it off. Bitcoin? That worthless internet monopoly money that tech nerds won't shut up about? The stuff that's literally worth less than a penny? Fast forward to today. Those 2 pizzas? They're now worth over $1.1 billion. That's billion with a B. The most expensive meal in human history wasn't served at some Michelin-starred restaurant in Paris. It was 2 greasy Papa John's pizzas delivered to a programmer's house in Florida. This is the story of how one hungry developer accidentally changed the course of financial history, kicked off a digital revolution, and created what we now celebrate as Bitcoin Pizza Day. And trust me, it gets way wilder than you think. Picture this. It's early 2010, and Bitcoin has been around for barely a year. The mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto had launched the network on the 3rd of January 2009, embedding a newspaper headline in the very first block that read, "The Times 3rd of January 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks." A middle finger to the traditional banking system that had just crashed the global economy. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Bitcoin was basically worthless. Like, genuinely worthless. In October 2009, the first exchange rate was established at $1 for 1,309 Bitcoin. Do the math on that. 1 Bitcoin was worth about 7/100ths of a penny. You could have bought all the Bitcoin in existence for less than the cost of a used Honda Civic. The only people who cared about Bitcoin were cryptography geeks, libertarians who didn't trust the government, and tech enthusiasts who thought they were witnessing the birth of something revolutionary. They hung out on bitcointalk.org, arguing about encryption algorithms, and posting about their mining setups. To everyone else, Bitcoin might as well have been Dungeons & Dragons gold pieces. And mining back then? Dude, you could mine Bitcoin on a regular laptop. Satoshi himself used a regular CPU to mine the Genesis block and received 50 Bitcoin as mining rewards. The mining difficulty was literally 1 compared to today's 67+ trillion. Anyone with a halfway decent computer could generate thousands of coins just by leaving their computer running overnight. Which brings us to our protagonist, a Florida-based programmer who was about to make the worst financial decision and the best historical contribution of his entire life. Laszlo Hanyecz wasn't just some random Bitcoin user. He created the first macOS client for Bitcoin Core, making it possible for Apple users to actually run Bitcoin software. Before Laszlo, if you wanted to use Bitcoin, you needed Windows or Linux. He literally expanded Bitcoin's potential user base by millions. But Laszlo's biggest contribution? He discovered that he could mine Bitcoin using his computer's graphics card, the GPU, instead of just the CPU. On the 10th of May 2010, he posted on Bitcoin Talk about using an NVIDIA 8800 GPU to generate Bitcoins. This discovery was so massive that it caught the attention of Satoshi Nakamoto himself. Think about that. The anonymous, mysterious creator of Bitcoin who barely ever communicated with anyone personally responded to Laszlo. Satoshi wrote to him, "A big attraction to new users is that anyone with a computer can generate some free coins." Laszlo's GPU mining innovation kicked off what would become an absolute arms race. Bitcoin's total hash rate exploded upward by 130,000% by the end of 2010. People started building small mining farms in their basements and garages, the prototypes for today's massive industrial mining operations worth billions of dollars. And because Laszlo could mine so efficiently, he was absolutely swimming in Bitcoins. We're talking thousands upon thousands of coins. According to blockchain analysis, Laszlo received and spent 81,432 Bitcoins from April to November 2010, worth over $8.6 billion today. Which meant when he got hungry one day in May 2010, he had an idea that would literally make history. On the 17th of May 2010, Laszlo posted a request to buy pizza with Bitcoin. The original post is still viewable, and it's honestly hilarious in hindsight. "I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. Like maybe 2 large ones, so I have some left over for the next day. I like having leftover pizza to nibble on later. You can make the pizza yourself and bring it to my house or order it for me from a delivery place. But what I'm aiming for is getting food delivered in exchange for Bitcoins where I don't have to order or prepare it myself. Kind of like ordering a breakfast platter at a hotel or something. They just bring you something to eat and you're happy." He even specified his toppings. "I like things like onions, peppers, sausage, mushrooms, tomatoes, pepperoni, etc. Just standard stuff, no weird fish topping or anything like that. 10,000 Bitcoins. For pizza. At the time, that was worth about $41. For 3 days, The post sat there. Nobody responded. On May 21st, Laszlo came back wondering if he needed to offer more. So, nobody wants to buy me pizza? Is the Bitcoin amount I'm offering too low? Can you imagine? He was considering paying more than 10,000 Bitcoin for pizza. The universe was giving everyone a chance to change this, and nobody took it. Finally, someone bit. A 19-year-old named Jeremy Sturdivant, known as Jerkos on the forum, agreed to the deal. Jeremy lived in England, so he couldn't deliver the pizza himself. Instead, he used his credit card to order 2 large Papa John's pizzas to Laszlo's house in Jacksonville, Florida. The pizzas cost about $30. On May 22, Laszlo reported successfully trading 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. He even posted a picture of himself with his kids, happily munching on Papa John's. "I just want to report that I successfully traded 10,000 Bitcoins for pizza," he wrote. Mission accomplished. Nobody knew it yet, but the first real-world Bitcoin transaction had just happened. Bitcoin was no longer just digital code floating around the internet. It was real money that could buy real things, even if those things were just mediocre chain restaurant pizza. Here's where it gets really interesting. Laszlo didn't just do this once. According to blockchain analysis, Laszlo made the pizza swap an open offer and may have ultimately spent Bitcoins worth around $3 billion at today's prices on Papa John's pies. Yeah, he spent billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin on pizza over several months. In August 2010, he finally posted, "I can't really afford to keep doing it, since I can't generate thousands of coins a day anymore." Why? Because his GPU mining discovery had triggered that massive hash rate explosion. Suddenly, everyone was mining with graphics cards, and Laszlo couldn't compete anymore. The arms race he started had priced him out of his own pizza buying. The price of Bitcoin started slowly climbing. By November 2010, just 6 months after the pizza purchase, those same 10,000 coins would have been worth $2,600. Still seemed like Laszlo made a dumb trade. But hey, at least it wasn't that bad. Then Bitcoin hit $1, then $10, then $100. Every milestone, people started calculating, how much is the Bitcoin pizza worth now? By 2014, Bitcoin was trading around $600. Laszlo wrote on the Bitcoin message board, "I mean, people can say I'm stupid, but it was a great deal at the time. I don't think anyone could have known it would take off like this." He was right. Nobody knew. How could they? Let's talk current numbers. With Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs of $109,439 per coin in May 2025, those original 10,000 Bitcoins are now worth approximately $1.1 billion. That's not a typo. Over $1 billion. For 2 pizzas. To put that in perspective, you could buy every Papa John's restaurant in the entire United States and still have money left over. You could purchase a private island, a super yacht, and a fleet of Lamborghinis. You could fund a space mission to Mars, all from 2 large pizzas with extra pepperoni. And what happened to Jeremy, the teenager who got those 10,000 Bitcoins? He immediately spent most of them on travel and living expenses, turning them into $400, 10 times his money. Smart move at the time. Heartbreaking in hindsight. But here's the thing. Laszlo has no regrets. In 2019, he appeared on 60 Minutes and said, "It made it real for some people. I mean, it certainly did for me." And he's absolutely right. Before Bitcoin Pizza Day, cryptocurrency was theoretical. It was code. It was libertarian fantasy talk on obscure forums. After 22nd May 2010, Bitcoin became real currency. If it could buy pizza, it could buy anything. The crypto community adopted May 22nd as Bitcoin Pizza Day, an annual celebration of that first transaction. Cryptocurrency companies now announce promotions and celebrations, with some like BitJet giving away pizzas to more than 2,000 people at gatherings around the world. You might be thinking, okay, cool story about a dude who wasted $1 billion on pizza. What's the point? The point is that someone had to go first. Someone had to prove that this weird internet money could actually function as money. Without Laszlo's sacrifice, Bitcoin might have remained a toy for tech nerds forever. After launching in January 2009, Bitcoin's first notable real-world transaction was this pizza purchase on the 22nd of May 2010. That's 17 months of Bitcoin existing purely in the digital realm. 17 months of people mining, trading on forums, and speculating but nobody actually using it to buy real goods and services. Laszlo changed that. He proved the concept worked. And the ripple effects? In March 2010, the first cryptocurrency exchange, BitcoinMarket.com, was launched, allowing Bitcoin to be traded for US dollars via PayPal. Commercial adoption slowly followed. Businesses started accepting Bitcoin. More exchanges opened. The infrastructure that made Bitcoin a trillion-dollar asset class? It all traces back to those two pizzas. Today, Satoshi Nakamoto's estimated 1.1 million Bitcoin holdings would be worth over $125 billion, making the anonymous creator one of the richest people on Earth. Bitcoin has a market cap in the trillions. Major financial institutions that once mocked it now offer Bitcoin investment products. El Salvador made it legal tender. And it all started with a hungry programmer who wanted some pizza and was willing to spend what everyone thought was worthless internet money to get it. So yeah, Laszlo Hanyecz technically spent over $1 billion on pizza. But he also helped birth a financial revolution that's fundamentally changing how we think about money, banking, and economic freedom. The lesson? Sometimes the dumbest decisions in hindsight were actually the smartest moves for humanity's progress. Laszlo couldn't have known Bitcoin would explode to 6 figures per coin. But he did know that for Bitcoin to succeed, people needed to actually use it. So he did. To this day, Laszlo Hanyecz has not disclosed whether he still owns any BTC. Maybe he held on to some. Maybe he's secretly a billionaire. Maybe he spent it all and lives a normal life as a software engineer. Honestly, it doesn't matter. His legacy is secure. And hey, at least the pizza was decent. Could have been worse. Could have been Domino's. If you enjoyed this deep dive into crypto history, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more stories about the weird, wild, and absolutely insane moments that shaped the digital currency revolution. Drop a comment below. Would you have traded 10,000 Bitcoin for pizza in 2010? Be honest. Thanks for watching, and remember, never underestimate the power of being hungry and having too much Bitcoin.